Welcome to the shooting show, broadcasting this week from Norma HQ in Sweden. But we're not hunting with the Vikings just yet. We're in the Emerald Isle with Jason Doyle shooting wood pigeons.
Pigeons this morning, we're on cut rape. There's standing barley field behind us. There's a few lodged holes in it and crows are feeding strong on it. We can't shoot at the back of this hedge on the standing barley. We're firing down towards the road. It's about 350 yards, but still a little bit close for comfort, so we're going to try and decoy the crows and pigeons onto this cut rape field. It's been cut about 3 days. We were in here yesterday evening for a look, and a good number of birds in the area and quite a few pigeons feeding on this as well, so see what we can do this morning. There's a good flight line in this valley below us. Small forestry, small wood down here, hardwood. Pigeons like to roost in those trees and sit in the middle of the day, so be hopeful we can sort of pull a 100-bird day out of this field between two of us.
Have to get planning permission for a hike like this, you know. Good foundations in it.
Time.
Jason and his friend Stephen get to work on a hide, ensuring they have good height visibility of the incoming pigeons and a comfortable position for a good day's shooting over the decoys.
Who was the last lad to pack this shop up?
Yeah. I've never used them.
Nearly do, it's not looking bad at that. Any more in it and they'll be roasting in it. Problem will answer everything.
Stephen gets to work on the deeks, and Jason takes a minute to assess their chances of scoring a big bag for the day.
We used to get out at first light, and you'd have a good feed in the morning. You'd have 4 or 5 hours decoying, and then it'd go quiet for a couple of hours in the afternoon, and then they'd do an afternoon feed again. But the last few years, now pigeon numbers have increased in this area the last couple of years, but we seem to not get on as well in the morning. It's mainly sort of 12, 1 o'clock before it really seems to pick up. You'll decoy pigeons all day, but it seems to be the afternoon the last couple of years that they seem to be feeding strong. And it's the same story with a lot of guys who are shooting pigeons a lot in this area. Seems to be the afternoon time that the numbers pick up. But like we'll still get shooting here this morning.
Bamboo cane with a 5mm pop rivet down inside it. 6mm hole put inside them right in the centre of the deek.
Right.
Out on a clear spot.
We have a magnet about 30-35 yards from the hide. Wind is directly in our back, so I'd be hoping a lot of birds to come straight across the field, pull up from this flight line. Magnet right in front of the hide to draw them in. A small clutter of decoys 15-20 yards to the right and to the left, just to leave a big open hole in the middle, try funnel the birds into where we want to shoot them. Don't really want to be firing on our extreme left with houses. They're 700-800 yards away. Still, I don't want to be firing in that general direction. So if we can funnel the birds into the middle, that'll be all the better. Eventually. Browning Phoenix semi-auto, good tool for the job. I'm not used to using a semi-auto, but it's very useful in the hide. I'm not getting my barrels stuck in the net every time I empty the gun and reload. 3 shots, which unfortunately is needed more than should be necessary, but no, it's a good tool for the job. Ely Super Game 32g6 cartridges, they're good. I don't like using trap cartridges for pigeon shooting. I know game cartridges are cost ineffective really, but I like to shoot good birds, and with 32g6s and a 3/4 choke you can kill them at quite a range and kill them clean. I don't like wounding pigeons and seeing them disappearing out across the field. That one came in perfectly now. One coming on the right.
Jason is better known for his stalking work on the shooting show, but is showing his ability with a shotgun early on this occasion.
Well, I started shotgun shooting long before I ever had a rifle. I only had my first centerfire rifle at 25 years of age. I've been shooting shotguns since I'm about 12 or 13, and this is the area I'm from. It's where I grew up, and we have no deer stalking in this area, so it was always pigeons, crows and pheasants when I was a kid, and decoying on my father's farm since I'm 12 or 13 years of age. I used to set up the hide and the decoys every day after the harvest, even though there was very rarely pigeons feeding on the field. I'd spend a whole day in the summer to get 2 or 3 pigeons and thought it was wonderful. Missed a lot more than I shot using an old Spanish side-by-side, but I remember shooting the first day I shot 10. Most of them were shot on the ground, but it was a great day, and I've been fanatical pigeon decoy or pigeon shooter ever since. Don't get to do as much of it now as I'd like to with work commitments, but still get out 15 or 20 days every year and love doing it.
The bag is growing, so it's time for a quick tidy up, but Jason is sure to put the shot pigeons to good use as decoys and attract more birds to the barley and rape fields in the afternoon.
I spent years as a kid peeking through a little hole like this, and you don't see birds coming in from the right or the left or something, and your eyes are just, you're worn out with looking. So now we just sit at this height, and if you stay still, just keep the gun like that until they're in range, and then it's usually too late for them, and you might get 10 less birds out of 100, but you're comfortable. I mean, I do this for fun.
Fun it might be, but as the day draws on, Jason's workload is just picking up. It's time to put his years of experience into good practice. The counter keeps clicking and the easy super games are doing a good job. But Jason needs to stay focused.
Sparrowhawk, yeah, just dropped in over our shoulder and dropped down. Little cock sparrowhawk dropped down onto one of the decoys. And just as he did that, 2 pigeons decoyed quite nicely as well, so he got a rude awakening. But a couple of birds now have been coming to the pattern and get to 60, 70 yards, and they're turning away. It's one of the problems when shooting on stubble. You get pigeons that fall and they lie on their back, and you have the white belly sticking up, and it can put birds off very quickly. And I think we've probably 18 or 20 dead birds in around the decoys now, so a couple of them are belly up, and the white feathers are putting off the decoying birds. So I'm gonna unload and run out and have a quick tidy up, maybe thicken up the pattern a little bit with real birds, and have just a general tidy up around.
With the pattern more to Jason's requirements, he gets back into the hide ready for the next flurry of the grey horde.
It's just poor. He's down. You could tell from 200 yards out there was 4 pigeons flying up, and the back one he kept wanting to turn to the decoys. The other 3 took no interest, but he stuck with it and left the flock and came over.
The 3-shot capacity of Jason's Browning is coming in handy as the sky gets busier, and while the numbers could be heavier, a 100 pigeon bag is on site on the clicker. so it's time to hunker down and aim for the century. A short break in the action gives Jason another chance to tinker, clean up and tweak things for one more stretch of pigeon popping. Half an hour of heavy action pushes the bag closer to the 100, and the boys decide to stick at it for a little while longer.
Nice one. $92.
They reach the milestone, but a final flurry arrives that's worth sticking around for. And just as Jason calls Stephen to wrap things up, he can't resist finishing off the day with a final shot.
We're going to knock her on the head at that. We're going to knock, hang on one second. They went okay. A lot of birds around, didn't decoy well. Having said that, there were quite a few that came in strong on the decoys, but a lot of birds moving in the area. Stephen in the other hide moved in the afternoon down onto a flight line, and he got some good shooting there on higher birds. But yeah, it's for this time of year, best part of the way through the harvest. A lot of birds are wise to decoys and magnets, and there's a lot of feeding elsewhere for them. It's about as good as we could hope for. Well, from what we saw here yesterday evening, we were pretty confident that with two hides we'd take 150 to 200 birds out of here. We haven't quite hit the 200. We're about 5 short, and between pigeons, crows and a few feral pigeons, and we've picked nearly 150. Standing crop here at the back of where we were shooting, there's probably 25-30 birds dead in it, so we're going to come back with Labradors later when it cools down and hunt that through and pick what we can.
Jason and Stephen there showing us how to do it the Irish way. And now, the shooting show news.
This is the Shooting Show News, brought to you by gunbid.co.uk. Fans of Night Sight will be excited to hear about the expansion of its accessories range. We caught up with them at the Tackle and Gun Show last week.
The main focus of our attention is our new range of accessories. 4 years ago we launched Night Sight onto the market, and what we created was a market category that introduced night vision for everyone. Here we are 4 years later. Around 18 months to 2 years ago we started to notice that the phone was never stopping ringing. with people asking us for what we considered at the time to be spare parts. The demand for these has just grown. So we've got a situation now where we can offer a comprehensive range of accessories, from brackets to car chargers. A very, very popular one is the new small 1.5 amp hour battery. A lot of people are actually just buying this to stick in their pocket, so they've got an extra battery. We've noticed, along with many other people in the industry, the growing interest from the hunter to have a camouflage gun, and we estimate that as much as 20% of our sales over the next couple of years will come from using camouflage realtree on our products.
Elsewhere, on the BBB investment stand, the distributor of Coast showed off the new LED Pro pliers multi-tool in chrome and black.
This multi-tool is made by Coast from Portland, Oregon, who are one of the USA's leading brands for multi-tools. The whole tool is made from stainless steel, including the individual tools, which gives it strength and durability, and comes with spring-loaded pliers. There's no external spring. Something unique to Coast is at both ends of the tool you see there's a decent LED. The main reason is when the tool is being used, you can see where you're using the knife blade if you're using it in the dark or in a confined space, and the light is ahead of your hand, so there's nothing to obstruct the light. There's only the torch and then the knife blade.
And the team at RD Sports introduced the first post-millennium guns from Cogswell and Harrison.
Here we have the new Cogswell and Harrison model Certus bolt-action rifle. This is available in caliber 223 and 243. It's a synthetic stock, muzzle threaded with a half-inch UNF. It comes with a Weaver-style bases. We have the Cogswell and Harrison logo here on the pistol grip, and then we have the original Benjamin Cogswell. This gun retails for £695, and we are currently gathering Cogswell and Harrison stockists. And if you go on to cogswellandharrison.com, you can see where the nearest stockist is to you.
This here is the first gun that was manufactured by Cogswell and Harrison in the third millennium. This side by side was manufactured in the London gun trade. It is a double trigger ejector, 30-inch fixed choke side by side. This gun has a price tag of 44,000 sterling plus taxes.
We're actually launching a new range of branded Windsor shotguns, which is the first branded range of shotguns Cogswell have actually done in this millennium, which is our new 20 gauge sporter and field gun. And these only retail in the UK at £1,100. This is basically an Italian range of shotguns we've actually developed by one of the major Italian manufacturers. And really we've actually done it for the UK market in terms of lightness of weight, the actual barrels, the actual lockup, and the action we've actually used, and also the quality of the walnut as well.
A member of the public found 6 dead birds on the 1st of October that were mistakenly identified as buzzards. Aberdeenshire officers attended the scene in Fordoon and opened an investigation that interviewed and took DNA from several people, until reports emerged that the birds were chickens. Police Scotland said the birds had been dead for several weeks, and due to the state of decomposition they couldn't say what the birds were. Registration for the Nad Al Sheba Desert Shooting Competition has opened for 2015. Due to take place on the 22nd to the 28th of February at the Nad Al Sheba racecourse near Dubai, the prize fund of $1 million boasts the largest ever prize fund at a clay shooting competition, building on the success of the inaugural event earlier this year, which gave away $735,000. There is also $105,000 available to win in side events, including a competition called Sports Buddy. The organisers say that Sports Buddy relates to shooting, but is being kept as a surprise for now. Read more in the next edition of Clay Shooting magazine. Benelli has launched the new Comfort Sporting High-Tech Competition Auto, a dedicated 12-gauge competition shotgun for clay shooting. The semi-automatic features a carbon fibre stepped rib, 3 changeable chokes and the Comfort Tech recoil reduction system. It will retail at £1,650. And finally, as of last week, updated policy from the Home Office states that the police are now able to make unannounced visits to legitimate gun owners. The legislation has been introduced to ensure certificate holders are complying with firearms security measures. Shooting organisations such as BASC and the CPSA are advising members to visit their respective websites for guidance and make sure their security arrangements follow recommendations. BASC Chief Executive Richard Ali said we support the police in their efforts to help firearms certificate holders maintain the excellent record of safety and security in England and Wales. That was the Shooting Show News.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. We're out every Monday, 7:30 p.m. UK time. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you're not a member of BASC, it's time to join now. BASC, looking after your sport, looking after you.